Sanji Chodon Suji Chonam na Chanchu Pandun Tani Jabso Jenda Jin So Yebe Sonam Jendrona Benje Sanjen Shu Sanji Chodon Suji Chonam na Chanchu Pandun Tani Jabso Jenda Jin So Yebe Sonam Jendrona Sanji Drubar Shu Sanji Chodon Suji Chonam na Chanchu Pandun Tani Jabso Jenda Jin So Yebe Sonam Jendrona Benje Sanjen Shu 동인인지 손도 주고 넘치지 선생 관심된 거잖아. 변문된 생자서 노 소원도 신조 흔도 실은 송라고 나다위 몇개상 트러블을 배중고 제외 주변 답변 접어진 선지 신인 줘라 차즈 노 반된 접어 넘어는 보진 다게 인걸 배면 되죠. 뭐가 렌션 배고는 지소 구송토지 우주제도 You can hear me? Well? Okay. You're studying A, B, C, D? Okay. A is not a B. A is not a B. Okay. The first day, the evening, my teacher pointed some important points why we need to study logic, reasoning, debate. And then also yesterday morning he also pointed out. And then the evening when he mentioned something very important, saying that I don't know the English word, I think to not rely on person, but Dharma. We say that. So, but then many of us, why we are here now, for this purpose. We can kind of say, up to now, we've been practicing our Dharma because, not the second reason, because maybe you felt that teacher is right for me, that Lama is right for me, and many people said it's very good, like we check the review and then go to the hotel. Similar like that, we went something like that. For that reason, I think now, in order to rely on Dharma, and it is so vast, and what kind of a Dharma is needed, then it's a big concern. But my teacher kind of clarified that for us, why we need Dharma. So now the investigation of what is Dharma. So before rushing towards what is Dharma, but then we need to train our mind to have kind of a question, to take out all the doubts. So I was doing sort of a little bit of investigation with the debate, without a debate. Somehow we can find Dharma, but with it, having quite a good understanding of Dharma, then what are more advanced and more benefit from there. And on the other hand, people who does not have these skills, and then they somehow find Dharma, and then somehow the other person can explain quite well about Dharma. But the person who has these debate skills, he can be quite stubborn. Okay? In here, when I say stubborn, don't just take it very negatively. But when I talk about stubborn, normally it is very negative. We know that. But something that unnecessary thing that we become stubborn, then it's very negative. But something very positive that you still can feel like somewhere this doesn't sound so right, but I really wanted to understand it so clearly. And then other person try to influence you, but you are like a piece of paper which has a rock on that. And so the wind blows, but it is not going anywhere. So for that reason, I think unless you don't get the essence of the teaching, then you are trying to look for that. I don't feel this is strong enough. But normally, without the debate skills, most people intend to feel like, yeah, this is so great. I believe in my teacher. I believe my friends. It is so important. Yes, I can kind of feel it. Not deep, strong there. And then this kind sort of behavior, meditation becomes very, very, very light. And then, Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim Chimo, in the path of stages, he says investigation is needed before doing shamatha meditation. He gave a few reasons. One is saying the person who has this logic and reason, they're holding the position or having a faith is much stronger. And then also not stronger, but it lasts longer. Those are some necessary points that Lama Tsongkhapa himself put that into his practice, and he's saying that. As taking this as an example, so now we don't need to check this to achieve shamatha at this moment, but time to time when you debate, now maybe from yesterday you start a kind of a debating and also having some idea. So now from tomorrow, the more and more discussions will be happening, and I'm pretty sure some of people you are going to break the floor of Tosamling. Make sure not the breaking only the floor, but also break your ego also. You don't need to wait until until next year to break your ego, but time to time, when you hold your position, there are two types of a debate. That person in front of you will present his debate to you. The one thing is his reason can be quite weak, but then it doesn't mean that you are good. But that other person's reason could be solid good, but you will feel you cannot answer at the moment, but deep inside you feel there is an answer. Should be an answer. I cannot get it now, but I feel it. This is what we are looking for. But if you don't have that, And there is a solution. Also check with your friends and don't give up on that. Because once you give up on 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then it will become a kind of your habit. Because my experience in the down south, like I don't like to study a lot. I started debating when I'm 13 years old. I'm not really into the debate. And then I could understand how this works, but I stay mostly with some of the students who don't debate. I wanted to talk a lot more, gossip. So that didn't kind of help. But then slowly, when I come into the Madhyamika class, entering to the middle way class, and then I thought like, this is so good, so I need to debate quite stronger. That time, I try to sit with the people who can debate, who are stronger. So then I will, after the debate, after the debate, if the debate is still going on in you, and while you are having a lunch, dinner, even in the washroom, you are thinking of this, then it is really working something in you. It's like a conversation. When the conversation goes very well, and then you just think about that, that's so, wow, that's great. Similarly, we need to have this kind of taste. So then you are getting something. And then sometimes at this moment, even I think when we debate, even what you are just saying, it doesn't make much sense, but you need to hold the position very strong. Because then you have to let your opponent bring all the best logics and reasons to you. And there are so many things coming out from his or her mouth that you have never thought of. And then from maybe 6 or 7 kind of reasons the person will present to you, then you will feel this is something very necessary. Then you will hold to that. And then you will use this to the other person. But then it's really funny. Sometimes, even your opponent is not that good in a debate. But with the blessings of the other classmates, then when you start debating with that person who is not really great, but then ultimately while he is saying not a solid things, great reason, you feel like, wow, why didn't I understand this before? You are connecting so much there. It happened several times with me. So it's more like you need both sides. So all this, the training of your mind, debate skills, staying home and just thinking, it won't work. Because this is called brainstorming. In the West, you have that. I learned it in Canada. So more brainstorm means you will have a more better understanding. And one reason between you keep this in your mind in the future, when on the, I think the third year, right? Third year or the fourth year, when you study about the entering to the middle way, the difference between the hearers and the solitary realizer, and then bodhisattvas, the meditating on emptiness. The emptiness same, but the way of meditating is different. Saying bodhisattva will bring far more reasons on emptiness, and then they will go on the meditation on emptiness. But for the arhats and all the hearers and solitary realizer on the path, they if they could meditate on the emptiness, that's good enough. So keep this in your mind. So the reasons, this maybe you wanted to find it. If you want this quotation, I can give it to you. Okay, so today I checked with my teacher. So my teacher said maybe take a few questions and then answer that. So I'm going to do that. So what are some kind of doubts that you wanted to discuss with me? And even I cannot answer, no worries. And then there's Adisha and my teacher, my backups. Sorry? Okay. So I need to find that in English. So Kelsey, so later you check with me. I will give it to you, okay? And then you can post that in a group. We have a group? Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. What else? I have something to say and then I forgot. Oh, and then also in the Parmana, in the beginning, it started with something saying, this textbook, Chandakirti, the Dharmakirti said, this book, I don't think that there is benefit for the others. I'm writing this text because it benefits me. There's clearly this statement is there. Now this, it's a very tricky one. Normally, also remember the great Shantideva. The great Shantideva in the way of Bodhisattva's life, he clearly says, I'm writing this book because because it really gives me familiar to the my practices, and then also rangi gewa kondo pechida. I think the few people will get benefit from this. I'm writing this. So all these great textbooks have this kind of a teaser, sends these messages that we need to be very try to take this kind of hint. What does that really mean? These people are the bodhisattvas. So what does that really mean? And then great Buddha, the first teaching, before the Four Noble Truths, there is one verse saying, I found this nectar. And nobody will understand that. So I'm not going to say a word, and I'm going to deep into meditation. You know that quotation, right? For my understanding, okay. Now, I'm not saying my teacher said it, I saw a commentary on that or something, but it's my thought. It's saying, if somebody says you should do it, it's so good. But then the essence of the teaching is kind of a if we say you go to McLeodganj, you won't feel anything. Why should I go? And then to bring out the reason to go to the McLeod, then you need to ask why. Why you are telling me this? You are a compassionate one. You are saying this a lot. Why you are saying this? All this question needs to be asked. But we don't ask this question. And we really don't know how to ask for this. So that is the reason, I think. So, like in order to do a good meditation or something, we call kind of a preliminary practices. Now, the preliminary practices is something that each and every time you have to get closer to the main practice. But our practice is more like we do purification, we do all sort of like 100,000 prostrations, mantras and everything. But to be honest, we don't feel something, we are getting near to something. So that's the reason I'm putting like this way. So saying, I found this beautiful teaching, but it's difficult for you to understand. The people who really want that, then they will just like, what is that? I really wanted to understand that. And then what are some kind of a way to investigate that? And what are kind of merits we need to put it in? That's needed. So, like Lama Tsongkhapa's, the three principal aspects of the path, at the last point he says, now you know the main essence and the main points of the teaching of the three principal aspects of the path. Now you are ready to go into a solitary meditate. So, like this, my teacher will say, from long time he loves to meditate, and then, but he is always feeling something is missing. So this is very important, I guess. When we do now, when you debate, each and every time it is necessary for you to, while you debate and when you come back home, it is very necessary that to sit down and always bring a one big question mark. Today, what I debate, how that can I can bring this into my practice. Ask this question. Ask this question. Don't rush to get the answer. This question is a good start. Many of us, like I have so many friends who loves to debate, but they never ask this question. Then it becomes so harmful. I'm just giving you a precaution. Even you become a top debater, the best of best debater, but not necessarily that you become a good practitioner. So while you debate, while you can say so many, even that person is saying the Dutch, the sound as an example, what is the how you put it? I don't know how to debate that in English. How do you say that? The sound is impermanent because it's a product. Then while debate, even that you can make that person to bring some kind of huge doubt. Maybe the sound is permanent. While with this debate, you can make him to accept that person before he is a pure person who is like the sound is impermanent. Now he may be, with your debate skills, you can make him the sound. Yeah, there's a possibility it is permanent with your logics. But still, it doesn't mean you are a great practitioner. You can play with words, we can make other people great influence there. But then you never start to ask. Even I can make all this up. What did I get? So that's, I think, most important. So this special debate system is needed. Like one good example I can find in this world. Normally, if some kind of situation becomes so big, very important, then we say it become a case. Then when it become a case, there are the professional people who is called lawyer. And then there is a quite unbiased person, the judge. And then all this way of answering. The person asks you a question, you cannot say everything. Your lawyer will say only yes or no and not sure. That's it. Don't make more kind of give so many clues. So all this sort of training, how to communicate, how to hold the position, this is also in the debate system. So while having this kind of investigation, only with this logic and reasons, I think it is a number one to bring down your doubt. Otherwise, you just feel like, wow, this is so good, oh, so great teaching. And then you just feel like whole day so fresh. And then one person comes, the person who can make the wise permanent, he comes to you, and he says so many stuffs and then brainwashed you. Guarantee he can. And then what the sad thing is, he can take away your faith, which is not strong enough. Not only that, but then also because your faith is not strong enough, then your meditation, getting familiar with, is not also very strong. So now, time to time, when we debate, we need to ask, why holding this position? Even you say the sound is impermanent, and then other person, let him give all the logics and reasons that is permanent. And then you could, then especially I like the system where it talks about the sign, and then what is this, the second one, the syllogism. What's that? The predicate. Predicate. Okay, predicate. Oh, never heard of that. The predicate. Okay, predicate. So relation of these two, unless you don't see strong connection in these two, and how much you say that sound is impermanent, you cannot hold the position. How much now you say all the phenomena are emptiness, how much you say you don't see the connection between the sign and the predicate. Did I say it right? Okay. And then no. So, for that reason, while you're studying that, you need to see the relation between the sign and the predicate and all the object, the relation between these two. And then normally when you speak, okay, and then you can notice in the worldly, we have to say it, but it sounds so stupid. It sounds so stupid, but you tell me, yeah, as a worldly, we have to say that. On the reality level, it isn't like that. You can feel that so many times, which is so good. So one of my good friend, she told me, the debate system is so nice if we can make a relation from the beginning, and then when we study, then it becomes kind of effortless. You feel, I know what I'm doing. I know my teacher is talking about. I know why I'm spending time here. You will never feel lost of the track. So she said, when she was debating about the white horse is white or not, all this debate, but first time she was finding quite difficult why this sort of the color thing and the animal things has to do with the Dharma. Then she came to realize, of course, when we look at some animal or the people, whatever the color we see, what kind of shape, then we just fix to that. We don't think beyond that. So it was such a great kind of start in the debate, all this. What it's trying to say. It's so related towards the main practice when we talk about emptiness. So those are some kind of the points that also my friend gave this kind of example. So different brain, different mind, you will get something. It really helped me. I was debating, like we have to say it, we debate, but I was not thinking like, the relation with this connects to the emptiness and so on. But she figured it out. That's the kind of the blessing or the inspiration she got. Then she knows, I need this. So many people, they don't get this and saying like, why you debating brings your ego such stronger, and why practice more, don't debate. I'm not saying it's totally wrong. That person who is saying this has a reason. But if you're merely just debating, then it builds up your ego. But this debate is nothing to do with the other person, but it's something to do with you. Then even you defeated that person, but unless the debate doesn't connect to you, and then you are not satisfied. Otherwise you debate and then you can, like that person give you a difficult time few times, and now you are having the group discussion with your teachers and all the students, and then you can debate him, and you can just you can make him a laughing stock, I don't know, and then you feel like, yes, I did it so good. But sometimes, yeah, we need a little bit kind of this stupidity feeling, yes, for sure. But then go back to your room and check. Did I do a great job today? Maybe not. Maybe opposite. It is to, actually this debate system is to help you to make your logic and reason to bring down your grasping down. But it become quite opposite. So it's not the purpose of our debate is not for this. And also keep this in your mind, because I have some classmates when in IBD, very learned person that I have a huge respect to him. But you know, he will hold a position, and if I give him a solid reason, and then he will just give a think and say, okay, it makes sense, I will change my position now. Shouldn't do that very quickly. Otherwise it will not make you strong enough. Then it's more like you're saying like, yeah, maybe that person is not good because other person is saying like this. Oh, I see, okay. I thought he was so good. He's so bad. And then you hear somebody, he's saying good. Oh, I think he's better. Now he's good. So it's like you don't have any of your way of position anymore. Then that's how I think our faith becomes very weak. Somehow, with this kind of faith, there's no way to see Buddha in the ordinary Lama, ordinary human. You can't. So, more you have a logic and a reason, and then your faith becomes stronger. And why I took, as yesterday, day before yesterday, my teacher taught about how a great Indian master, he said, before he was the non-Buddhist, and then he studied the both sides of Buddhist and non-Buddhist, then he came to the conclusion saying, I'm not taking the side of Buddha, and I'm not bringing kind of hate or like a dislike towards the other religion, but whoever has a logic and a reason, that really helps me. So I'm taking the homage to that person. So then it makes, while that you can find the logic and reason much strong, very strong, then your faith becomes very strong. And then you have a reason that your faith to the His Holiness Dalai Lama, our master, is like, for this reason I take refuge in him. And then you can let other people say whatever they want. But then you are in the group of people who criticize His Holiness Dalai Lama, but you are in the middle, day and night. But you are solid, strong there. This is kind of needed in this time of period, isn't it? Because now all the social media and all the stuff, how, if you don't know how to watch this news, handle this situation, we don't know how it's really affecting our brain. So this is really needed to hold the position very strongly, without unbiased. Without bias. What happened to my English? Yeah, okay, now let's do some question and answer. Okay.
Could you please, because the topic of merit keeps coming.
Uh-huh.
Because the topic of merits keeps coming in Buddhism, I would like to understand it from a common perspective than having merits of, doing the prayers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So for a common people, how could we bring merits?
Mm-hmm. The merit. This is a one kind of a, I think this, what is merit is such a big, important question. But when we say, if you are well learned, you know the subjects and you know how to debate and everything, and you have a perfect teacher and you have almost everything, the conditions, most conditions are there. But still, the greatest question is, it is necessary that all having this kind of condition is necessarily that realization could be there. And then the answer is no, and then we always say we need a merit. So the merit is something in the text, it says, it's a huge question for me for such a long time, still now, but when we say sonam ki cho in the Tibetan, the accumulation of the merit, and then in there it says, the definition, it says like, it's the same like putting the handprint. So that is only the part we can get from the text. What does that mean? Like making a handprint. So now the biggest question is, now let's look at the example. What is that putting handprint? So if you want the handprint, you cannot, if I put my handprint on the table, it won't leave any kind of, on this cloth, it won't. But then once it is a kind of like a clay, it's kind of a little bit of like moisture and I don't know what it's soft, which is good enough to bring the imprints, the handprints. And then you need the same as this hand, what are what do you call it? The lines. The first thing, in order to have this the same as a line from here to there, all the cause and condition there, but then most important is these lines needs to stay there very strongly. So when all the causes and condition meet, then putting this hand on the clay, then you can see all the prints very clearly. It's like kind of a same. Sometimes more clear. So when we when we say, I wanted to become like my teacher, okay. So you may be you can become maybe like a more intelligent, you can explain better, 100%. But you don't have the feelings here, like my teacher does have. But then you want his feeling, how he feels about the emptiness, he feels about his guru, that kind of feeling that he has. In order to have that, in order to have the same as that in you, so then your way of asking things, it's called special force. You need a kind of special force to build this. Normally what you are saying like, wow, my teacher gives this logic reason very nicely. I needed to learn that. You put that in. On the piece of paper, you all write this down. But maybe, have you ever noted down, this is so amazing. When he says this, he's so moved towards this. I really want it like this. So like a child is enjoying ice cream, maybe like I should eat the ice cream. But then I really wanted to enjoy like that kid is really enjoying. That is a different way of enjoying the ice cream. So for that, each and every whatever you do, you speak, you do all this accumulation is for that reason. Then I think we could say we are building the merit. Otherwise, normally whatever we study, doing processions, offering the mandalas and water bowls, the merit is there. But that merit is a little bit different merit. The merit is not to bring this kind of a handprint. So that's somehow I find, and then especially when the merit is always to do with faith. A faith that you wanted to, in order to, if you go to college, you don't need to have faith. Maybe you can become better than your professor. You become an expert. Even maybe you can teach your professor. That kind of level you can. But in here, like if you look at some of the stories, and you can still see, I'm giving you a hint, you can explore even the students are much better than his teacher way of explanation. But the student is always looking in the quality of their teacher. That was so powerful when he said it. because I think he felt this, and I really wanted to understand that. So it doesn't matter how the presentation, how he brings this with so many way of saying beautiful things, beautiful exam, or we have this in these days, many things you can see in the social media of this, what is called influencers. Their influence is to say very nice and then easy to understand. You feel like, wow, that's so good. But it's not much thing to do with, I wanted to feel like him, so that it definitely will bring down whatever necessary, urgent thing that you wanted to eliminate. So my personal life, I am labeled or recognized as one of the greatest 21st century Lama, Serkong Rinpoche. So many people come to see me like, do you remember your past life? Do you remember this sort of thing? Do you remember me? I thought like, that's not important. They never ask a question like, do you feel the bodhicitta? Or do you feel the Guru devotion? When you first meet Dalai Lama, how was the feeling? No question. No question. But my feeling is like, what I really missed, or even, let's say, even I am the real Serkong Rinpoche, okay, then what did I really miss is the Guru devotion of my predecessor to His Holiness Dalai Lama is so strong that to ask anybody, even His Holiness Dalai Lama, in our interview, His Holiness says, your predecessor's faith, devotion to me is amazing. He repeatedly said a few times. Then what I thought, where is this faith missing? I wanted that back. I want this. So that was the biggest concern. So in order to bring this out, only studying will not help me. So now I need to bring out some kind of, with the faith to His Holiness, I need to do so many activities so it will come out. So without the, just maybe not having the, I just wanted to have this feeling, Guru devotion to His Holiness. I go to Bodh Gaya, without any faith, I just do maybe billions and billions of thousand prostrations in Bodh Gaya, and especially reserved inside the temple. Nobody, only Serkong Rinpoche is doing a prostration there. I think it's not going to work. So that merit, that kind of imprint, that kind of a handprint, it is something to do with the faith. So like, remember the Adisha's advice about what is the pit instruction. He says Tibetans like pit instruction because Choji is always giving a pit instructions to here and there to his students. So many people will go to him say, give me a pit instructions. And then he said, well, you people are quite in the space. It is good that you are asking something about Dharma. But first, where is the faith that he is asking? So, what is that faith actually now? It is not, as we are studying about debate on logic and reason, the faith is not like, okay, I take a refuge. 100% refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha like that. No. It's the faith that my teacher pointed out. Checking with your own mind what is the really disturbing in you. Most difficult, what makes your life difficult is never other people. It's you are clinging. Even the whole world around you is making fun of you, but still you can stand strong. It's difficult, but you can be strong. That example is His Holiness Dalai Lama and Buddha Shakyamuni. I think the Buddha Shakyamuni time, he has lots of enemies. He has so many opponents, big challenges, but he stayed very calm. And then when he passes away, he is praised so much that if you look at the situation, the great people living in this generation, and then they passed, and then people only kind of praise him. The enemies, they don't have so much to say bad things anyway. But the time of the Buddha, you can read in the sutra. There's so many kind of oppositions, and then also opponents and non-Buddhist. All, of course, there's so much there. And then in his disciples, they are saying like, the whole life I stayed with Buddha, but I haven't seen one quality in him. Well, these kind of monks are there. So it is clearly giving us some kind of a message. It is hopeless to fix everything, and then I will feel like, if I fix everything, I will be happy. That's not going to happen. Now, you need to fix something that you will be happy forever, and then you can help others. Even you cannot help others, but you can still stay cool. So that kind of, how to bring this kind of the suffering down. I'm looking for this, is to knock and to bring the faith. I believe that person has this kind of, this institute has this kind of quality, and I'm going to investigate that. And that's how we build up. In order to do that, I need to bring more energy in there, and I'm going to do some kind of purifications, doing circular positions, doing karma yoga. So like the Buddha gives a good teaching to some of the people who wanted to become a monk, and then before becoming a monk, then he will say, okay, now I give you a job. You do the balcony, near to the temple, you sweep. And then the sweep and the more dirts are coming, then you say, okay, I take away the dust, I take away my negative emotion, say this repeatedly. He gives this kind of karma yoga. And then once person is like, oh, now I can sweep this dust, and I can sweep my also negative emotions. And now Buddha, please give me this teaching. Like a Melareba purification, and then all this purification I done, for what? To get the teaching very well. And some also I think one thing to take away is the craving. Because anger is difficult. Anger makes you difficult because you don't wish to harm somebody, you don't wish to harm yourself, but something happened and then out of control. We say every time anger, out of control. But attachment, we never say out of control. We want it to last that long. Because why? We have strong craving before. More craving you have, more desire to stay on that kind of bliss or this kind of period. Continuously you want it. So, the purification, the merit, the virtue has to bring this kind of craving. That's good craving. So that's why person who wants to become Buddha, every time they need to see the qualities of the Buddha. Wow, only the Buddha can do that. Only the Buddha can do that. May I can become like the Buddha. Only the Buddha can do that. And become who wanted to become on the liberation, then say, wow, unless I don't get out samsara, no way I can bring happiness. No way. Then each and every time, what kind of effort you do, you eat, you sleep, and then it becomes something going direction towards it. For us, I think, for me, I am in a kind of middle. Okay, Dharma is important, and the samsara life, if you have a comfortable life, this is also good. And then it's like a 50-50 now. That is one of the greatest obstacle, I guess. So, yeah, so there's so many, see, so much information on the merit, isn't it? Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, but also we need to keep in our mind, because we shouldn't blind faith it in this situation. Merit will work, merit will work. Not like this. So each time when you try to study, more you feel deeper in here. How you set this search for this kind of mission, then you see it's going. You have to say, now this merit is working. But normally, we are having comfortable life. We are not saying the merit in the past life is working here. We don't say that. It's more like, yeah, it's more, I did lots of effort, thanks to my father and mother, thanks to the society, I'm having a great time. But we never just kind of say, maybe something, not only that, maybe something I did good in the past. We just not saying from here, dry from your only from mouth, but should feel it. If not, then the same in your family, that same person is having the same facility, but that person cannot appreciate it. Maybe he has more complaints on that. So you are thinking in a one way, your maybe the sibling or the twins, sister or brother, may be having different thoughts. So this is how the force of the merit, the force of the some kind of the conditions, not from this life, from something from past, I guess. So as I say, guess, sometimes you say definitely now. And then this is the debate. This will be the debate when we talk about three signs. The first one, Jatayanda, the causal. What is that? You don't know? What's that? Causal reasoning and What's that? Effect sign, that's it. Jata. Effect sign. So when we debate on effect sign, all these we need to keep in our mind. Saying that there should be a fire because there's a smoke, right? Buddha give this kind of a logic and reason in the sutra. He just give an example saying, I can see seagulls, right? Seagulls going down, and then he's saying, and then there's no land around, so definitely there should be sea. From this example, he said we can, while having good understanding on that, and then we can say, in order to know that person is a bodhisattva or not, then we can see from their signs. So actually, it's how to find your teacher, actually. So it's quite important, isn't it? And then from the sign, then he says, that person, when he talks about bodhicitta or some important, he has like so much affection, is that right? Affection towards it, and then also the goosebumps, and then tears coming out, and then we debate a lot on that, because we are not easy to just giving this reason. Not necessary. There are so many fake people who can cry easily, goosebumps everywhere. But then in there it says special signs, very special signs. Then we debate on that a lot. Not just having signs of he cries and there's a goosebump when he talks about bodhicitta. But he said there's a very special signs. So then we try to find out why it's precisely saying special signs. That you can, that covers, I think, later this month, isn't it? The logic and reasons, right? Later this month. So keep this in your mind. Keep this in your mind. Okay, so we have it's until 12? 11? 11:30, okay. So we have time. So one more? Yes? Yes? Yeah.
For this kind of new person like me, I have the question regarding the debates. Can you give the example of which way I can start with the debate with myself? Because I feel I don't like the other people, but I feel that that's uncomfortable. No, my voice is okay. To start with the others, I prefer like start with myself. I don't know if it makes sense. And that way, after I can do this with the others people.
So you're saying you don't...
I'll give you some kind of example. Which way
Yeah.
To do, and even, I think you mentioned them, to create some kind of like good habits, like some kind of courage, don't be afraid, like, in the same time to, because what I would say, like the not shaking ground under our feet when we do this.
Yeah. So you're saying what is the difference between debating without other help of others?
Like first we become, because I don't like the other people, but I like often, like
you
debate
want
with myself.
debate with yourself.
Yeah. And after when I have this kind of clarity, because maybe I'm dyslexic, then after I can share with the other people.
Oh yeah. This could do, of course, if one's intelligence is good enough to investigate yourself, and then, of course, that's good enough. But then, for my case, it is much easier, and also I can learn a lot. Even sometimes my teacher is saying the same thing, but I couldn't understand. But through my classmates, I could understand it. Finally, oh, last year my teacher was saying this, now I get it. So I didn't get it from my teacher directly. So I'm getting it from my classmates. And maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I put it like every day I debate with myself, I'm not sure I will get that. Because when we say, maybe like collective karma, I guess. So this is something how we exchanging the mind, what your thoughts are, my thoughts are. So then, because it's a really heavy stuff, it's not just the simple things we are going to discuss. Because it's a very heavy stuff, then more supported you have, you feel relaxed. Like in the West, you have, when you have lots of addiction problems or so many problems, family problem, if there's like a one-to-one person only, you feel like sometimes not working. But you have a whole bunch of people who have the same kind of cases, and some they're giving kind of a more kind of a problem, and then you feel like my thing is quite small. And compared to that person, automatically it becomes kind of relaxing. So similarly, when you debate, when you see, like you think this is so important, that other people will just come and crush your, that kind of idea, you feel so clinged. And what you're like, up to now I was thinking like so good. Now what really happened now? So maybe if you're debating with yourself, you will not try to crush it. Maybe you will try to stick on that and just say, okay, I need more kind of supportive resources on that. You will find on that. But then your classmates, their duty is to crush your idea. That means your ego too. But that, I really owe my great things to my classmates. That's why I'm super fan of my classmates. I have few of my friends, time to time we talk about our past. Like in Israel, I have this very talented, good debater, Chengju Punzo. Now he is in a difficult state at this moment, but super kind to me. So we always have like a debate, and then he will, my duty is to crush his ego and position, and his mission is same, to crush mine. So it's so helpful. And then sometimes I go to my teacher, my question that actually is contributed by his idea, and then I try to check with my teacher. My teacher sometimes says, this is so great. This is a very nice way of thinking. So now, if you look at the Lamrim Chimon, the path of stages with Lama Tsongkhapa, he already mentioned that, this sort of statement. Then we just go like, wow, we got this, we are getting it. But if you look the path of stages 1,000 times, maybe you are not going to cross like this. So it's incredible how this debate system works. That's why sometimes you feel so comfortable in our area, like in the Buddhist area, but you just go there and try to hold a position and debate with the non-Buddhists. It's super difficult. Super difficult. Because the whole idea, whole concept is different now here. So that's why this when we say of the Nalanda tradition, this first Kajigawa to debate with the opponent, Kajigawa, I don't know, and Ranglu Shaba, bringing your own way of understanding, and then the third one, the other person's idea or debate, it is not going to affect on you, that you need to prove that. So these three types of system is needed. My teacher said that, right? And this is the way. And then most funniest thing, even you are so kind of influenced or affected by the practice, but then you just go out. Even I'm not talking about Dharma with others, but sometimes the environment changes everything in you. Have you ever tried to practice bodhicitta in New York? In the man, what's that? The Queen, what's it's called? Times Square. Oh, now you can feel like, oh, bodhicitta and something. You try to meditate, it's super difficult. First of all, distractions. Second, one of my teacher, the guru, Serkong Rinpoche, gave a super good teaching to Simon. He called him, and then he said, look from the balcony, now you can see Kangra from here. You talk about bodhicitta, and how many people in a Kangra that you can help. He laughed and went in. That is something. So, for this reason, I think more you not just practice, but then with this kind of logics and reasons and getting familiar with all around, and then I think nobody can disturb your mind. That's what we need. Otherwise, what we do is we study and we practice for such a long time, and then when you have a difficult period of time, and then you ask for a Lama for a different solution. It happened with me, and I'm also doing this sort of thing. But maybe I have a different awareness. I just come to like the conclusion, yeah, I know this is like that, but still it's difficult. I put like this. But then some of us, what we do is study along, and then you kind of feel like I'm quite a good practitioner, and then this came up, difficult situation, and you have no idea to connect, but just like, why this has to happen to me? So I think not only debate, this kind of debate is to make you stronger to go out from here. Okay, so then you go out when you feel there are another way of debate, and that you need to also settle. That from here you can make it. You can make it. Otherwise, you cannot make it from here through kindness of your classmates, and then no way from outside. There's no classmates. Your opponents are different. So, to train your mind or to tame your mind, First train your mind, and then you can tame your mind, and then I think it will go smoothly. Because due to the kindness of the people who invite me to give some teachings, so I go there, even though I couldn't give the best teachings, but I try my best. And then the thing is to hang out with them, and then try to bring my practice now. I need to handle this situation. And then it's quite a challenge. But I enjoy it. From time to time I enjoy that. And then sometimes it makes me stronger. Not all the time. That will be total lie. Yeah. So my job for here in the something for almost now 2 months and a half is to we will today I told Adisha he don't need to come. So next there's a discussion, then in the Wednesday we do discussion. So I will listen to how you debate, what are some kind of questions. And then on this Saturday, it's my teacher advised me, because this will happen to you, because it happened to all of us, because while debating, and then we just somehow, we felt kind of lost the track. And then I'm like your shepherd to take you back on the track. So that is my teacher told me to do this for you. So that time on the Saturday you need to be super honest. So you can tell me, and then how this is getting tired, you feel like this is not working. This is the time you can bring that on. It's good. It's good. Otherwise, you say, like, if somebody say, I'm enjoying, and then somehow it will take your the enjoyment of studying, the joy, and that effort is there, and then no joy. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. So we all work together on that. Okay? Okay, thank you. See, it's perfect time. Okay. Shangju Simjo Rinpoche Madye Banam Jejuji Jeba Nyamba Meba Yung Kone Kondo Pevar Shu Donyi Tawa Rinpoche Madye Banam Jejuji Jewa Nyamba Meba Yung Kone Kondo Pevar Shu Jewa Kondo Yanda Dhamma Dan Dreme Chuchi Peralo Sadan Lamje Yunden Ramzonen Doji Changi Koban Yodo Shu. Okay. Good weekend. Have a good weekend. Also, you can study, huh?